It is impossible to forget the video that popped up a couple of months ago showing a 2-year-old Indonesian boy chain smoking. It sparked worldwide outrage, a lot of disbelief, too. CBS News was the first to find the boy and his family. Betty Nguyen is here now with an update on his condition. And it looked too wild to be true, but it wasn't.
Exactly, but it was, unfortunately. And, you know, people are still talking about this story. The smoking toddler has now entered rehab, Erica, and we have an exclusive update on his condition. It was these disturbing images, an Indonesian boy smoking like a seasoned pro, that captivated the world.
Look at that kid. He's not even out of diapers. This is child abuse.
Is there a baby that smokes?
Yeah.
A CBS News team traveled to the Indonesian island of Sumatra in search of the child. Our crew found 2-year-old Aldi Suganda, cigarette in hand. His mother, Diana, felt helpless against breaking the boy's 2-pack-a-day habit.
I don't know what will happen in the future. We surely hope he will quit. But what can we do but accept it as it is?
Given the intense interest in his story, we wanted to see how the child was doing now, 2 months later. Aldi and his mother were taken to Jakarta for intensive medical and psychological treatment, a trip paid for by the local government. The capital's name translates to complete victory, which is just what Diana is hoping for.
I brought him here so he would stop smoking. I came for help.
The night before treatment began, Diana watched her child smoke what she hoped would be his last cigarette. In the morning, despite his mother's optimism, Aldi was not happy when he arrived at the hospital and was denied a cigarette. What followed would be hard for any parent to bear, as Aldi wailed and smashed his head on the floor. Over the next 2 days, he underwent a battery of tests, including a chest x-ray and ultrasound on his heart and lungs. Results showed a thickening on the left wall of his heart.
From 2007 to 2009, the youngest smokers found were 5 to 9 years old. This year, we found that there are baby smokers who start from a year old.
Indonesia has long been a country with virtually no regulations against the tobacco industry. More than 30% of children here smoke a cigarette before the age of 10.
Unhealthy children will be the future generation of our country. It is genocide.
In trying to limit his nicotine withdrawal symptoms, Aldi participates in play therapy to keep his mind occupied.
Through play therapy, we will lead him back to the beauty of childhood play. If it can be done well, I am optimistic that Aldi will stop smoking. He has had a lot to smoke, 3 to 4 packs a day. I hope he does not have any diseases, because he has now stopped smoking.
After nearly a month without smoking, the true test begins, as Aldi will now return to his village, where hopes are high, but temptation is everywhere. Aldi and his mother will fly back to their village today, and interestingly enough, it will be the local government's job to make sure Aldi is properly cared for in the future and to make sure he does not start smoking again.
So they have to monitor that.
It is up to them.
So he just left. Obviously, he hasn't been smoking while he's in rehab, so we'll see how that plays out. There's a press conference, though, this morning about his condition. How is he a month after?
Well, here's what we learned. A couple things. One, that the smoking has had no effect on his health, believe it or not. And two, so the question is, well, if it had no effect on his health, why does he have this heart condition where it's enlarged, right? And so there's a thickening on the left wall. Well, what we learned is that is because he is obese, and that causes his heart to work even harder.
So that's actually a separate issue. Exactly. What about, you said the local government has to monitor this, but obviously something has to happen at home. Is his mother or father being given any tools to help him? Because she looks like she might need some help with
Absolutely. She was given some treatment, some therapy there, and essentially it's, parental skills, basically is what she was given to say, look, when he cries or he wants something, don't give him a cigarette. Yeah. Don't give him food. Play therapy is really kind of the answer right now.
Right. And that thing that's so hard for so many parents to do is say no and stand your ground, especially when you've got a wailing toddler on your hands. Betty, thanks.
Drugs are bad because if you do drugs, you're a hippie, and hippies suck.
It's not about justice, it's not about agenda, it's not about mobilizing people, it's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.